Welcome to WagerTalk.com. I am Kelly Stewart, joined today by Teddy Covers. Follow him on Twitter at Teddy_Covers. Teddy, I really like this game, and it turns out you're on the other side, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're talking Boise State laying 10.5 on the road, headed into Troy to play the Trojans. Listen, both of these teams won 11 games last year. I know that on the blue carpet, the Broncos won 24-13. There's lots of things to look at, but for some reason, there's a lot of hype around this Boise State team. I keep hearing they're going to be the non-Power 5 school to get in the 4-team college playoff. I'm not buying the hype. Tell me why you like the Broncos.
Well, I don't know if I'm buying the hype for Boise to be the non-Power 5 team to run the table, but I am buying the hype that Boise's going to beat Troy this week. And you're talking about last year. Last year was a tight game. It was a competitive game throughout. 24-13 ended up being a push on the closing number. And neither team was in control of that game at any point. You know, we saw a handful of big plays allow Boise to win, including a punt return touchdown, one area where the Broncos still have a legitimate edge, and that, of course, is on special teams. Boise State special teams dominated last year. And when you talk about what decides week 1 point spreads, special teams come into play more often than you think. And that's one area where Boise legitimately has an edge.
So I'm laughing because normally Teddy and I prep a lot better for these shows, and I was really busy this week, and he just took all of my notes because I was going to say special teams is absolutely going to decide whether or not Troy can cover, let alone win this game. I really like Coach Neil Brown. I think he's young. I think he's hungry, and I probably won't be at Troy next year. But that being said, I think he kind of gives them a little bit of edge. It's going to be a night game. It's going to be hostile for a Sun Belt game. 30,000 fans. It'll still be up and exciting. Anything else you're looking at this game, I think it goes down to the wire.
There's a ton of stuff I'm looking at this game. Look, it's not like Boise can't play in hostile environments. You know, they've been around the block once or twice. They have a game at Oklahoma State that's probably going to be a little bit hostile as well. So this likely to be a precursor for that. But when you talk about Boise as a veteran team, which they are, all the returning starters, including the starter at quarterback, that's not what Troy is this year. Troy graduated Brandon Silvers, who was a monster, a 4-year starter, a guy who took them to Sun Belt titles. He doesn't get replaced overnight. Caleb Barker won the job in camp. It was a tight camp between him and Sawyer Smith. They were both splitting reps with the first team. At quarterback, major drop-off for Troy, and that's an issue when you look at Boise's defense, because Boise's defense, say what you want about their offense, their defense is solid. You know, the pass rush is there, the linebacking core is there, the secondary is there. And then, of course, Troy, when you talk about running back, well, let's see, they lost the school's all-time leading touchdown guy in Chun in the offseason. The number 2 rusher from last year departed, and there's no clear replacement for those guys. I worry about the blocking schemes, especially with a young QB against a really good defense. And yeah, temperature is supposed to be 84 degrees. It's supposed to be humid. It's not going to be the ultimate Boise weather by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't think that Troy necessarily gets manhandled in this ballgame. But you asked me to pick a side. Troy's going to go through some growing pains early. All the talk out of Troy is we're going to be good by the time the Sun Belt campaign comes around. I think Boise outclasses them a little bit here. I like the Broncos minus the 10.
A little disagreement from Teddy and I here. Maybe I need to do a little bit more research on these Troy Trojans. That being said, are you guys a member of the WagerTalk Text Club? It is free, and it includes free picks and exclusive discounts. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 and get a $10 coupon for just signing up.